Kingdom Hearts. Fill me with the power of revelation. It is a new year and it is time to rekindle a new hope and new hype, especially when looking at the Kingdom Hearts series. What is good, peeps? It is your boy, renewed and alive, HMK, and it is time to talk about the potential, the possibilities, and what we can expect for the future of Kingdom Hearts, specifically for 2026. I know it definitely feels like the darkness has consumed us and the series to a certain degree, but machinations and what feelings have made their way into the ether tells me that while the idea of releases shall remain unknown for 2026, I believe we are going to see the next step in revelations for Kingdom Hearts, namely Kingdom Hearts 4 after the advent of Missing Link's cancellation last year. Nomura and the crew claims that the game's development is going smoothly and is on schedule, along with a small glimpse at the title's progress in 2025. But it is truly on them to convince us that this is the case this year. But within that darkness awaits a hype that, when unleashed, will consume us all. And it is my job to prepare you for that. So be sure to like, share, and most probably subscribe to HMK. Let's dive directly into the darkness. The potential for Kingdom Hearts news in 2026 can truly be massive, and there are more reasons than you would think because of this apparent darkness. But to set the mood, I have to veer off of Kingdom Hearts for just a bit and look at Square Enix as a whole in terms of their release schedule and their situation. When it comes to the absolute known 2026 releases from Square Enix, we've only got Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated on Switch 2 and Xbox in January, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined in February, The Adventures of Elliot sometime in 2026, and the recently announced Life is Strange Reunion in March. Other than that, Square Enix's catalog seems pretty empty, and I mean, we know that we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth lined up for Xbox and Switch 2 sometime in the future, as well as the incoming remake project Part 3, Dragon Quest XII, The Flames of Fate, and of course, Kingdom Hearts 4. But none of those have release windows or even ideas at this point. This, along with the restructuring of Square Enix, as well as the investor group buying more and more shares of the company, would have you think that doesn't bode well for the company. But I'm always in the camp that we need to see a hardcore public decision that doesn't land for me to get worried, or straight up shutdowns or cancellations. But as a reminder, Disney has a lot of stake within Kingdom Hearts, because they own the series, which will also explain a lot about the yellow tape that Square Enix would have to go through in terms of revealing aspects of the game. So what I'm trying to say is that while there's a lot of variables working against Kingdom Hearts having any type of revelations this year, there are a bunch working for the idea, especially considering that the schedule for 3/4 of the year is pretty open. So back to Kingdom Hearts. The future of the series, Phase 2, the Lost Master Arc, Kingdom Hearts 4. Kingdom Hearts is in a very particular spot right now in terms of release and information. I've seen a bunch of people liken to what we are going through with Kingdom Hearts 4 to what we went through with Kingdom Hearts 3, but I have to disagree significantly. Indeed, we did have a good amount of time for Kingdom Hearts 3, specifically when it was revealed in 2013 until its release in 2019. However, we had a lot, and I mean a lot, to fill in those gaps. Not just among the trailers that those within the community have looked back and complained about, but we also had the releases of 1.5, 2.5, 1.5 plus 2.5, 2.8, and Union Cross updates to tide us over and keep us active into the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. And then, when going into where we are now with Kingdom Hearts 4, from Kingdom Hearts 3's release in 2019 and Kingdom Hearts 4's own reveal in 2022 specifically, we've had the release of Remind 1 year after Kingdom Hearts 3, as well as Melody of Memory within that same year. All the while, the advent of Dark Road had begun in the wake of Union Cross coming to a close. And some people may not count this, but I do count this as a significant Kingdom Hearts content contributor. Within that time span, Sora arriving to Smash Ultimate as the final fighter in 2021. This all pooled together into the 20th anniversary event that happened in 2022 that gave us the reveal of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, Kingdom Hearts 4, as well as setting us up for the long-awaited finale to Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. From that point on, we've had sporadic updates on Missing Link, including a couple of closed betas, which eventually culminated with the game's cancellation in 2025, which also coincided with a new look at Kingdom Hearts 4, finally after 3 years of relative silence on the project, which many believe to be damage control. So all things considered, the silence of what has happened with Kingdom Hearts 4 is definitely deafening compared to what we had with Kingdom Hearts 3. But for me, that belays the point of possibilities when it comes to what we can see this year, especially considering that there is new tech on the market that has been making waves. As it seems that Square Enix is trying to fall in line with the idea of starting a marketing blitz within 1 year estimate of a game releasing that other developers and publishers have been establishing. If we were to see anything substantial when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 4 within this year, you can absolutely bet on the idea that we could see the game within a year of that, or even this year. But it all hinges on that initial idea, as there have been rumors and whispers about machinations within the game's development that could give us the idea that they are preparing as much as they can before they can fully, traditionally reveal the core of the game, so that the marketing phase will go as smooth as possible with Disney's oversight. On marketing, not the development itself. Which makes sense, as this game is going to have the most new to the series since, well, Birth by Sleep when you think about it, Kingdom Hearts 0. There are a ton of details in a gameplay sense and presentation sense that will have to be properly established through marketing in order to get everyone, and I mean everyone, on the same page. I mean, for most of us, we're kind of good because we kept up with the story and development, but that can't be said for everyone, and as businesses, Square and Disney are trying to maximize them profits. While the Kingdom Hearts fandom has definitely grown exponentially in recent years, establishing a product and why you want it is marketing 101 that needs to be applied en masse. Going into the blitz of re-revealing the game with a massive new trailer showcasing Sora's new abilities, namely Scrape and Build, and the importance of relatively undefined characters such as Yuzora and Strelitzia, as well as revealing a couple of worlds with a surprise or two, would have the conversation explode on social media. Then would come the interviews clarifying any confusion anyone would have after the trailer, plus drip feed marketing in terms of assets when it comes to world screenshots, character profiles, and how this all relates from the transition of the Dark Seeker saga into the Lost Master arc. Without running off too much, what I'm saying is that if properly placed, this can definitely be done within a year without feeling rushed. That is what I believe they are currently planning for and cooking, to the point that all English voice acting would have to be ready in order to establish that marketing plan for the year. But then the big question on the docket is, when would this game release if this were all to be true? Well, until Kingdom Hearts 3, that released pretty much at the same time internationally, save for a couple of days, the releases for the number of titles were off by months across the board. But it was always towards the end of the year or the beginning of the year, depending on the version. And honestly, a game like Kingdom Hearts 4 would have to release internationally around the same time at this point. So let's say if 2026 could see a marketing blitz, then my estimate can easily square it on Q4 2026 or Q1 2027. And I mean, it worked out for them before, and if another big title were to release, you know what I'm talking about, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 in 2027, because the 30th anniversary and 7 and all that good jazz, then they can have that perched up as the big release that spills into the holiday season later in that year. But then that has me thinking on another issue, if Square would want to wait to release Remake Part 3 until after Rebirth has released on other consoles, but I digress. But to wrap up these ideas on Kingdom Hearts, not just Kingdom Hearts 4, making big waves in 2026 that would lead into the whole marketing scheme of Kingdom Hearts 4 is releasing the Kingdom Hearts titles natively on Nintendo Switch 2. This console is that hotness right now, and other companies are wising up, putting their games on the system, like Capcom, Bandai Namco, CD Projekt Red, and yes, Square Enix with Final Fantasy VII Remake integrate. So not only would that cast a wider net if Kingdom Hearts 4 is planned for Switch 2, we actually don't know a list of confirmed platforms yet, by the way, but that would be a surefire way to bring the conversation back big time among Kingdom Hearts faithful Nintendo fans and set the stage for a grand release of Kingdom Hearts 4 and the marketing road that would come before it. And we do have whispers that apparently it may already be ready for Switch 2, that the Kingdom Hearts Integra Masterpiece Collection and that Disney and Square are just biding their time and waiting for the right opportunity to reveal it and release it. I'm telling y'all, it's all part of the plan. I've always believed in the idea that Square is setting up something massively in the background for this game, but now it's getting to the point where they're gonna start convincing me and all of us all over again. And when they do, it's gonna be hype. But I want to know what you guys think about these ideas and the idea that Kingdom Hearts could have a big moment in 2026. Leave your theories and comments in the comment section below, and be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK. Until the next video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.